Hi model friends, today I'm going to share 5 tips for you to build or curate an effective portfolio. Like you, I need to build a portfolio. I've been working on mine for about 10 years and I've learned some things about building portfolios that might benefit you. Also, I've been a photographer hiring models for about that same amount of time, and there's certain things that I look for as a commercial photographer when I'm hiring a model that you might like to keep in mind. Let's get right into those tips. Number 1, find other photographers who are doing the kind of work you want and emulate what they're doing. Let's just quickly look through some portfolios of models who are with agencies who are clearly getting work and see what they're doing well and what they're not doing well. Okay. Now these are models I've never met, I've never worked with, I don't know them, I'm just randomly picking them from agency websites. Maddie's first image is a full-length, almost, shot. The lighting is good, the light's coming from the side a little bit, which is giving some definition on her body. She also has photos that are not like this, and you really can't tell what you're looking at. I don't know what this is. I don't know if she's 4 feet tall. I don't know if her arms are thin or wide. I don't know. Her face isn't even in focus. I can't tell how big her shapes are. Her nose, her lips, her eyes, everything is flat. I can't tell. So one piece of advice I can give based on this is make sure that the images are well lit, that they're describing you. There are shots like this one here that have flat lighting that are interesting stylistically, but again, it really doesn't describe her very well to me as a photographer, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to get when I hire her. Whereas these shots here, where she's on this treadmill, there are multiple light sources, there are shadows, there are highlights, the light's coming from the side, not just straight on. Now, there's photos in here like these. This looks like something maybe she did when she was, before she got paid work. Because this is the kind of thing Facebook photographers who are amateur old guys that just want to take a picture of a pretty girl would shoot. The light's terrible. They're not taking any investment or interest whatsoever in developing their own ability. They just want the pretty girl to get in the studio and pose in underwear. And so this to me just looks really amateur, and there's no way I would ever shoot something like this. And it doesn't really tell me anything about her. I can't tell, if she has muscle tone or exactly what the shape of her face is or anything. It's really not very helpful. So I would just take all of these flat shots out and then leave stuff like this that has a lot of contour and visual appeal in it. It also describes her figure pretty well, even though it's only waist up. So this I like. I've hired models before where in the pictures they looked good because the other photographers that worked with them did a great job posing them. But then when I hired them and I said, okay, run down the track, they had their arms straight out running like this because they've never run before. Or they run like this because they've never run before. It's like Wonder Woman in the 70s on TV. It's a cute girly run, but it doesn't really support hardcore fitness, product delivery. So having some pictures like this in action, kind of showing that she can keep her feet square when she's jumping, and that it's not overly laborious for her, and her facial expression is natural. This is an example of going and looking at a model's portfolio and just seeing what it is that they're doing. Go to agency websites. If you're trying to get an agent, well, go look at the agency and look at models that are in your category. If you're a male model, look at male models. If you're a fitness model, look at fitness models. See what they're doing, what body types they have, what images they're using to sell themselves, and then look at your work and see if there's a gap between what you have and what they have, and then start closing it. And that leads us to the next tip. Tip number 2, be picky about the photographers that you work with. If you're just a hobbyist, and this is just fun for you, and you have no intention whatsoever of ever getting paid to be a model, just go out and have fun. It doesn't matter what you do whatever you want, as long as you're safe. Have a good time. If you're trying to become a commercial model that's paid on a regular basis to do modeling, you need to be picky about what photographers you're doing test shoots with. I'll show you an example of what I mean. Now, if this was you that took this picture, I'm sorry, I intentionally chose someone that's very far away that I've never met and will probably never even watch my video. If you are watching, just take this as constructive criticism, please. Now I'm going to go through these quickly, and I want you to think, how are these going to get this model work? What was the point of this? And who's hiring models to take pictures with smoke and guns next to a car? Okay, let's look through it. Okay, we've got model in camo with high boots next to a Camaro. Okay, it's funny that the Camaro is the stereotypical car that I use when I talk about models on cars. Okay, good. The model standing in front of the car, interesting. And there's smoke and a mask. Oh, cool. All right, so I've personally never been hired by a client to shoot photos like this. And I can just about guarantee you that this model, even if these photos were good, will never ever be hired by a company to have photos taken like this. These photos are useful only for posting in modeling groups on Facebook. It's not useful in a portfolio. It's not going to be on someone's wall in their home. It's not fine art. There's no product. So my point is, if you need to build your portfolio and do test work, wait. Don't just take whatever opportunities come. Vet the photographer. Go look at their work. Not only will it be safer to work with a more experienced photographer, in most cases, but the photography that you receive of yourself is going to be much more supportive of your career than photos that are taken by someone who either has no interest in developing their skill or someone who has just barely started with photography. Again, if you're just having fun, you just want to go out and get your picture taken and just pose and pretend, then that's fine. But if you're serious about building a portfolio, forget about it. Just only work with photographers who have previous work that you think would be supportive of your portfolio. Tip number 3, avoid over-sexualized photos in your portfolio. If you look around on billboards, on websites, in brochures and catalogs, it is extraordinarily rare that companies will choose on purpose to use overly sexualized images to sell their products. Now it happens, and most of the time it happens when the brand is specifically built around sexuality. But that is a minority of the work that's out there. So if you want to go that way, then great, that's the work for you. If you're trying to make yourself available for a broad array of modeling opportunities, then you're going to want to keep it clean. When you're shooting with a lot of amateur photographers, it's much more common for them to want to shoot sexualized images. Photographers that just shoot for fun are looking to shoot whatever it is that they consider to be fun. And a lot of photographers happen to think that sexy pictures are fun. So you might get the wrong idea that to be a professional model, you need to shoot a lot of sexy stuff. But the truth is, the people that are really hiring for commercial work, which is the bulk of the work that's out there, it's really not that helpful. I just don't need these kinds of photos in my portfolio. I don't get hired for that. I'm not trying to get hired for that. Clients don't need that. There are some out there, but it's rare. And so, since I'm a serious photographer and I'm trying to make a living doing this, you won't find super sexy stuff in my portfolio because it doesn't support my career. Tip number 4. In your portfolio, I want to see variety. I don't want to see the same photo over and over again. I don't want to see 7 photos from the same photo shoot. I need 1 photo from each photo shoot unless another photo from that photo shoot demonstrates something to me that the other photo does not. I need profiles. I need close-ups. I need full bodies. I need action, fitness, fashion, product. I need to see exactly what you can do. And the more you can put in your portfolio the exact stuff that I'm looking for, the more likely I am to pick you for my shoot. That's how it works for getting any job, really. You go into a job interview and you try to demonstrate to them that you have already done what they need done, and you've done it for a long time, and you've done it well. You're going to get the job. It's the same with modeling. You need to show me exactly what I'm going to get from a variety of angles and a variety of situations, different lighting, different photography styles. And that way I can see my own work in your portfolio. And if I can do that, I can visualize how you're going to fit perfectly into my photos, and then I'm going to hire you. Tip number 5, keep your work up to date. Even a 25 or 30-year-old changes a great deal in 5 years. And if your pictures look like you're 5 years younger than you are, or if you have pictures of both ages in your portfolio, that can be very confusing to me. I might see a picture of you at 25 that I think would really fit, but by 30, you've gained 20 pounds of muscle and you look totally different, and you've got both sets of images. I need to know what you look like right now. I need to know what I'm going to get. If you've shaved off your hair, if you've dyed it blue, I need to know. So keep your images up to date so that I can make an educated decision about who I'm hiring. I hope these tips have been helpful. I encourage you, again, go do your research, find out what's working for people, and then make your portfolio that kind of portfolio. I'm Braxton. I'm here to help. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to have more content like this coming your way real soon.